The Charlotte Area Transit System, or CATS, has an art and transit program to bring artists, architects, engineers, and community members together to create transit facilities that are vibrant and neighborhood-oriented.
We have an interesting procedure in our transit program whereby the art is involved within the context and the texture of our projects. It is interwoven in what transit is, and it expresses the identity of the surrounding area as well as the purpose for which you're gathered at that spot.
And it's intended to make the public feel like the light rail system in these places are theirs, and the art is about Charlotte, this community, these neighborhoods, and so we want a direct relationship between the transit rider and the art.
It's a way to take your ideas to the public and have more people be able to appreciate it.
State and local governments, along with the Federal Transit Administration, help fund transit projects. The FTA encourages transit systems to dedicate money for public art. The Metropolitan Transit Commission, CAT's governing board, supported using 1% of the design and construction costs to integrate public art throughout the transit system. Professional artists who are involved in or interested in public art are invited to apply for art and transit projects. The call is open and ongoing. For each project, an artist selection panel, made up of art professionals, works with community members to select an artist who will create art relevant to the site and the community. A 7-member Art and Transit Advisory Committee, made up of art professionals, oversees the art and transit program. Each artist must present a proposal to the committee before the artwork can go into final design.
It seems to me I answered an open call. The registry was pretty straightforward. They asked for a slide list describing your resume, your package. I call it your artist package, if you will.
Art must meet certain criteria to be considered for the Art and Transit program. Artistic excellence is the first criteria considered. The art must also be relevant to the site and the community and be durable and easy to maintain.
I would like to say that about this project and about public art, it's hard work. Collaborations are always hard. I think a true collaboration is one in which you come to the table and are willing to learn something, and you come to the table and allow yourself to learn something, and you come to the table and you allow yourself to share something.
The interaction with CATS, with the architects, with the various engineers and so forth is very foreign to me. I mean, I'm a studio artist. I go in the studio, I work by myself, I don't answer to anyone.
I mean, that's the thing about public art. You present to everybody. Your ideas have to go through incredible scrutiny. They all have their ideas of what should be. And so it's a long road from start to finish.
With artists and with architects, there are some pretty big egos involved. I think sort of what we've all had to do on this project is kind of step aside and let the project be the driving force rather than anyone's opinion or idea.
It was great to finally see the piece installed. and on a wall. My studio, I didn't create it or ever see it on a wall. It was always on the floor, spanned out, and it was big piece, small space, and to be able to get back and look at it, and people were able to see the interactive quality, the visually kinetic part where it changes color when you walk back and forth.
So it's not typically what the public thinks of that painters and sculptors do. So it's an outdoor environment, and the art is more difficult to create and to integrate into these outdoor settings.
Well, there are always constraints, always. They have to be durable. They have to take wear and tear. I'm a colorist, so I'm trying to integrate some color into this design. That's not easily accomplished, especially when the material is concrete.
But as an artist, I find that limits are really something to work with and something to work against, and they don't really inhibit creativity as much as they inspire creativity.
With public art projects, a major concern is archival, that it's going to last a long time, and that vandalism is considered, that we could possibly change it, alter it if we needed to, and of course the cleaning.
Well, I think that it gives identity. That's one of my concerns, giving identity to a particular group, if I'm representing a particular group, reflecting values that are important to that group, aesthetic appealing, making it appeal to the environment, to the people that use it. You know, make it a nice space. That's the bottom line, trying to make it a pleasant, beautiful, comfortable environment.
Transit centers, train stations, and park and ride lots are a part of the community. Artists integrate history, culture, landscape, and the needs of people who will use the facility into their designs.
One of the things you do as an artist involved in public art is to work with your team, get to know the site, get to know what the community is about, and try to drive a concept that truly meets the needs of a community and reflects their very diverse flavor.
I've gone out into the community and asked some of the people in the community about the history of Matthews.
I want to see what the site looks like with the buses lined up. I want to see what it looks like from this perspective.
I think it gives the community a sense of ownership about their art. It makes the community unique and different from everywhere else.
As plans for future corridors and transit facilities develop, CATS will continue to integrate public art in transit and invite artists to submit materials for the permanent roster and slide registry.
So I hope it continues. I hope it flourishes. Cities that do have that are usually very beautiful cities. Make it more inviting and appealing to visitors.
The arts community, living artists, are a valuable part of the community as a whole. And I think it shows a good deal of foresight for a city or municipality to use the work of living artists and to be able to support living artists and make it possible for living artists to continue to make art by using this kind of support.
I think what appeals to me and what pleases me is that, and I feel honored in having a piece of artwork in a public place like this, as well as for the number of people who see it. I think it'll help a lot of people understand how artwork enhances a space and how it warms a space and makes it feel livable.
A lot of public work gets a lot of scrutiny, a lot of negative feedback initially, but given a bit of time and people are allowed to live with it, I'd say in most cases it becomes an icon for that site, and those same people that hated it in the beginning, once they got to know it and perhaps appreciate it, would miss it if it were gone, and would maybe be just as upset if suddenly it were taken away.